Says, learning is a process where knowledge is created through the informations of experience. The experimental learning cycle. Kolb's experimental learning style theory is typically represented by a four-stage learning cycle in which the learning touches all the bases. Number one, concrete experiences. A new experience or situation is encountered or a reinterpretation of existing experience. Number two, reflecting observation. The new experience of particular importance are any inconsistency between experience and understanding. Number three, abstract conceptuations. Reflection gives rise to the new ideas or a modification of an existing abstract concepts. Active experimentation. The learners applies them to the world around them to see what results. Effective learning is seen when a person progresses through a cycle of four stages of having a concrete experience followed by observation of and reflection on the experience which leads to the formation of abstract concept analysis and generalization conclusion which are then used to test hypotheses in future situations, resulting in new experiences. Kolb's views learning as integrated process with each stage being mutually supportive of and feeding into the next. It is possible to enter the cycle at any stage and follow it through its logical sequence. However, effective learning only occurs when a learning is able to execute all four stages of the model. Therefore, one stage of cycle is ineffective as a learning procedure on its own. Learning style. Kolb-Learning theory set out four distinct learning styles which are based on a four-stage learning cycle noted above. Kolb explained that different people naturally prefer a certain single different learning style. Various factors influence a person's preferred style. For example, social environment, educational experiences, or the basic cognitive structure of the individual. Whatever influences the choice of style. The learning style preferences itself is actually the product of two pairs of variables or two separate choices that we make which called presented as line of access each with conflicting modes of either ends. Whatever influences lines of exist each with conflict modes at either ends. A typical presentation of Kolb's two continuum is that the east-west axis is called the processing continuum. How we approach a task and the north-south axis is called the perceptions continuum. Our emotional response or how we think or feel about it. Learning styles. Kolb's believe that we cannot perform both variables on a single axis at the same time. Example, think and feel. Our learning style is a product of these two choice decisions. It's often easier to see the construction of Kolb's learning style in items of an 2 by 2 matrix. Each learning style represents a combination of two preferred styles. The diagram also highlights Kolb's terminology for the poor learning style, diverging, assimilating, and converging, accommodating. Knowing a person's and your own learning style enables learn to be oriented according to the preferred method. But everyone responds to the needs as stimulus of all types of learning style to one extent or another. It's a matter of using emphasis that fits bit with a given situation and a person's learning style preferences. Brief description of the poor Kolb's learning, diverging, feeling, and watching. These people are able to look at things from different perspectives. They are sensitives, they prefer to watch rather than do, tending to gather information and use imagination to solve problems. They are best at viewing concrete situations at several different viewpoints. Called they style diverging because these people perform better in situations that require ideas generations. For example, brainstorming. People with a diverging learning style have broad culture interests and like to gather information. They are interested in people, need to be imaginative and emotional and to be strong in arts. People with a diverging style prefer to work in groups, to listen with an open mind, and to receive persons' feedbacks. Assimilating, watching, and thinking. Preference is for a concise, logical approach. Ideas and concepts are more important than people. These people require good, clear explanation rather than practical opportunity. They excel at understanding wide-ranging information and organizing in a clear logical format. People with assimilating learning style are less focused on people and more interested in ideas and abstract concepts. People with this style are more attracted to logical sound theories and approach based on practical values.